especially when you had to figure out like the MRP, which is MP times P, seemed to give you guys a lot of trouble. So I'll try to do my best to continue to review them even as we're moving forward. All right, if you turn over, there's one more multiple choice that someone in the class asked me to go over, so I put it down. So it's question 21. I'll give you a minute or a minute and a half to look at question 21. Huh? Question. Formula should just come right. Like 30 seconds. Russ, do you remember the formula when you see labor and capital in a question? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
MPS.
Huh?
MPS.
All right, so the marginal product of labor over the price of labor is the marginal product of capital over the price of capital, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that being said, Chase, do they give you the marginal product of labor?
Yeah.
What is it?
10.
No, that's capital 10, right? So I'll put the marginal product for capital 10 here. What's the marginal product of labor? You should have this on your paper too, by the way.
That was 40.
40, right? Okay. And Christian, did they give you the price of labor anywhere? Or the price of capital, either one?
The price of labor total. The weight.
Yes. So you're here, right? So you have 40 over 20 equals 10 over X. And if you cross multiply, what is X? Jacob, because I want to give you math that you know how to do.
I think I'm on a calculator real quick.
What are you going to get? And I'll do the math.
I was gonna multiply 20.
So 40X is going to equal 200, right?
Yes.
So X is going to equal.
Oh, and then divide by 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, X equals
I
5.
got that.
So that's PS and problem. All right, so anytime you see capital and labor together, this formula is probably gonna come in somewhere. Okay? Any questions on any of these three? All right, Ronan, you're in charge.
I don't remember what I think God did probably. That helps to take focus throughout the rest of the week, headed to a good rest of the weekend. And then, come back to some self-position. St. John Baptist Hills,
Forever. Okay. All right, you should have started chapter 10. I remind you, if, again, if things didn't go as well as you would have liked them to go, try to change something. And probably for most of you, something you could change is reading day to day. I'll be here after school. I said Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is Thursday. I'll be here after school for like from 2:50 to 3:10, just to review what we did today. And I know for some of you, oh, it's only one day, but the more you could get it cemented in, the better it will be, and we'll have a quiz coming up. All right, questions are due Monday. We'll have the quiz on Tuesday. All right, here we go. Did free markets ever fail? Does capitalism ever not work? Yes, okay? And we could argue on a lot of different things, but economically, there's kind of 4 reasons that we will look at in the next like 8 days that we'll talk about as market failures, okay? So this is kind of when the invisible hand doesn't work, when private markets either overproduce or underproduce what really should happen. So what's the result? Government to the rescue. That's the scariest word you could say. It's like administration to the rescue. I mean, it doesn't usually draw out well, but hey. All right, so here are the 4 market failures. 1, public goods. All right, I used to teach public goods first, but kids like to go along with the chapter, so I'll go with externalities first. So an externality is a third-person side effect. So if I'm putting on fireworks and Holt's enjoying them from his house, has he paid anything for them? No. That's an externality where he's getting this benefit, but he's not part of the, purchase. And then there's a negative thing where Bethlehem Steel is making steel and polluting the air. And even though Jacob isn't buying from Bethlehem Steel, he's choking on that pollution. So that's kind of an externality. That's monopolies. This could be easy. You guys know monopolies, you know the graph. This is going to be like easy. And then unfair distribution of income. Okay. And how the United States tries to make income more fairly distributed. All right. In each of the situations, again, government must step in. All right. And we'll look at all 4 of them. And we'll go through monopolies the quickest because I think we have a pretty good handle on monopolies. All right. So externalities. What is an well, it's like I said, it's a third-person side effect. All right. There's either benefits or costs. A negative externality is going to shift supply or demand to the left, and a positive externality is going to shift supply or demand to the right. Okay. The free market. So take smoking. When Marlboro charges $10 a pack, actually went $10 for a pack of cigarettes. How much was a pack of cigarettes when I was your age? 35 cents. All right, so $10 for a pack of cigarettes. They don't charge you based on secondhand smoke, based on the fact that you get cancer and you go to a hospital. They charge you on what it costs to make the cigarettes. So what is an externality? There's an external cost. External costs that taxpayers pay for medical, Medicare and stuff like that. So there's an external cost. Now, like I said, with the fireworks, sometimes there's an external benefit. I'm doing fireworks and you guys are watching from your house and you didn't pay it. I'm paying for the fireworks based on my benefit, but there's external benefits, okay? So with no government involvement, there's either too much of some goods, which is externality, negative externalities, and too little of others, which is positive externalities. All right, and okay, and this is like the smoking one that I said. All right, so the first up, because, yes, sir. I didn't hear. No, when you have when the market produces too much, it's a negative externality, and too little is a positive. All right. Because I'm basically a negative person, I'll start with negative externalities first. All right, and I don't know, did I put this stuff in your notes?
Yes.
All right, so Durham is a chemical, they pollute the air, okay? Again, Durham is just charging for the price of the chemical. They're not charging for the effect that pollution has on the environment or on the local community. So the firm ignores the social cost of pollution. All right. So you know the marginal cost curve is supply. When you factor in external costs, Durham is producing too much. So I'm going to show you the graph here. So I left your space, right, for the graph? All right. So, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, it is a regular, right? I put PM, price market, QM, quantity market. Now, the supply curve is the marginal private cost curve, and the demand curve is marginal social benefit / marginal private benefit. The reason is they equal each other because the demand curve here is not going to change. Yes, sir.
What is MSB and PP stand for again?
Marginal social benefit and marginal private benefit.
No.
Then you have marginal private costs. Okay? Now. Okay. I now have the marginal social cost. So the marginal social cost. If I draw this line straight up, that's the external cost. What do I mean by that? That's the cost of pollution that the steel company does not take into their prices. Like the steel company doesn't care about the cost of pollution, they're not going to pay. So that is the cost of pollution for society. Okay. Here, that's the price optimal. That's optimally what we want to charge. And that's quantity optimal. Okay. Alex, does the market left on its own produce more than optimal, less than optimal, or at optimal? This is the market, right?
Yeah.
This is optimal. Huh? Is that less?
Or less, or
Yes, they produce more, right? The market produces more than optimal, okay? Now, Trevor, if government is trying to get this market to produce less, what might they do?
raise the price.
Now, could government go in and tell you to raise your price?
No.
But how can they get you to kind of raise your price in a different way? Oh, yes, you do. What do people hate government doing?
Taxing.
Yeah, great answer, Trevor. Why did you lie and say you didn't know? All right. Government will tax. The tax, if you want to get rid of the whole externality, should be the size of that line, the external cost.
Could also raise minimum wage, so like raise production.
Yeah, but if they don't have minimum wage workers, it might not affect them. Okay?
Would that economy tax revenue right there? Or no?
Now, I mean, the government's gonna get tax revenue, yeah. Yeah. All right, now, what do you think this triangle is? That might was, go.
If you did a price board. Network or
You mean putting a price floor here?
yeah.
I mean, it could, yeah. All right, now. You have dead weight loss, you have this. Okay, let's say the tax didn't occur yet. You have your external costs. Your marginal social costs are those external costs plus the private costs. Okay? Now, government listens to Trev and taxes that amount. Oh, one last thing about, because Jacob is gonna say to me, Mr. Bressler, is it this triangle, is it this? The point of the triangle here is always on the optimal line. Okay, the second thing I could say, if you take the market line always, that's gonna give you your dead weight loss and your external cost. All right, so we're there. After the tax, we're now gonna go to P optimal and Q optimal, right? Sam, what's gonna happen to dead weight loss? It's going to disappear because we're at the optimal. So you're gonna get something like and like that. Okay, dead weight loss is gone. You don't really have external costs anymore, and they sometimes will say you internalized your costs. Any questions on that so far? Stowe, was this on the producer or the consumer?
Producer.
Producer, right? Supply is the producer. All right. The next thing I want to say is, how about if I'm drinking and I'm an alcoholic? Does that have any negative side effects to the rest of the community? Why then? Drunk driving, you know, who knows, you might be paying unemployment for me. So it does have. Now, is that on the producer if I drink or the consumer? Huh? It's on the consumer. So if it's on the consumer, and this is just us going through what we did, it's going to be a demand curve. Okay, so you're going to start out. Can I give you a spot for the consumer?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to start out market, and you could put P market and optimal, P optimal. Where it says private cost, it could be private / social. When they don't change, they're both. And where it says private value, you could say private benefits. And then MSB. Instead of social, marginal social benefits, value and benefits are the same. Okay?
So the demand curve just left?
Yeah.
Like, well, like, why does that happen?
We'll get there. We'll get there. I want you to just jot this down and then we'll talk about it, Jacob. Good. Again, notice on the negative externalities, we're shifting left both times. Nick, are you done? Copy. Nick, is the market here left by itself producing too much alcohol, too little alcohol, or the optimal amount? Too much, right? Okay. Now, Teddy, if I'm drinking too much alcohol, what might government do to slow me down?
Increase the price or,
And how are they gonna increase the price?
tax.
They're gonna end up taxing you, okay? And the tax now is on the consumer, and that's why demand is shifting left, Jacob. So the tax is now on consumer. Now, remember I said if you take the market line straight up, this is your dead weight loss. Remember I said it points to the optimal, it points to the optimal. All right, so there is your dead weight loss. Now, it looks here like you're paying less, right? But this is the price before the tax. All right. Chase, after the tax occurs, do we have dead weight loss?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna be after the tax? Are you gonna be at P optimal, Q optimal?
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna be,
would know we wouldn't have.
you wouldn't have, right? Because you're at the optimum. Okay? All right, any questions about negative externality? All right, let's try to get a little positive going here. Here we go. Little positive. All right, this benefits other spillover. External education, that you get educated, you get good jobs, less chance of you going to jail. All positive things. Flu vaccine. Holt has a flu vaccine, less chance of me getting the flu. Thank you, Holt. I got the flu already, Holt, so you didn't do a great job there, brother. All right, so here we're gonna do, we're gonna start it like this. Flu, me getting vaccine on the producer or the consumer. Consumer, me. All right, so it's gonna be free market. So it's gonna be Q market here. P market. Now. Every time for positive externalities, I'm gonna shift right. That's gonna give me P optimal. Q optimal. Okay. Now, remember I said if you take the market line, that will lead you to dead weight loss. There it is, pointing at the optimum. There is your dead weight loss right here. Now, instead of external cost, this is external benefits. Marginal social benefits now is private benefits and external benefits. Oh, you just tell me when you're ready to answer. Holt, is this market left by itself at the market producing too many flu vaccines, too little flu vaccines, or the exact right amount of flu vaccine?
Too many.
This is your market, right? This is your optimal. Market optimal. What do you think? Are you not sure? Because Troy's dying to help you. Go.
Too
You're producing too little, because at the market, you're here, you're trying to get to the optimal. Okay, now, Ronan. How could government get us to buy more flu shots?
little.
They can't, so what are they gonna do? They're gonna subsidize, all right? So you're gonna subsidize the positive and tax the negative. Like, the subsidy should be the size of the external benefit. Now, what does the subsidy look like? It's a $5 off coupon for a flu shot. Okay?
I don't know if I'm just a little confused, but what does subsidy with the supply? Or is this for the consumer?
This is for the consumer. You're right. Just like taxes, but now we're taxing the consumer, okay? Excellent question. But since you're on a little roll here, Cross,
Yeah.
after the subsidy. Oh, we got dead weight loss?
Yeah.
When I'm at the subsidy, where am I gonna end
Oh,
up?
wait, after something.
After,
There.
I'm gonna be here at the optimal, right? No dead weight loss. Okay? So you okay?
Yeah.
You look like you're thinking.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So QFM, we're under allocated. So we're looking to under allocate. We're going to subsidize. Go.
There's dead weight loss because the marginal,
It's dead weight loss because you're underproducing.
you're under. Okay.
Okay? The marginal social benefit is greater than the marginal private. Okay? All right. Now. Okay. Now. What happens that the United States realizing the power of college education gives $5 million to anyone who builds a college? Is that going to be on the producer or the consumer? The producer, right? They're making colleges. So, all right, anytime the lines shift, you always go from private to social. Anytime the line stays by itself, it's private slash social, they equal the same. All right, so here's my market, right? Again, if I take my market line, that's my external benefit, that's my dead weight loss. Notice my triangle pointing to the optimal. Here, the subsidy is going to go to the colleges.
So in a positive externality, it's private to social, and then in a negative.
They're always private to social,
Always.
always private to
Okay,
social.
so it's not vice versa, negative.
No.
Okay.
And the negative, the only difference would be, say this was a negative going up, John, it'd be private here, social there, because you're shifting
Oh,
left.
you're just, right, okay.
Now you're shifting left. Okay. All right, Jersey, in this is the market left by itself under or overproducing? It's under, right? The market's here, the optimal's here, we're underproducing. Jacob, they're gonna do what? Are you gonna tax?
Subsidized.
Subsidize, right? So you're gonna subsidize and you're gonna be at optimum. At optimal, Aaron, are we gonna have dead weight loss? Huh? No dead weight loss at optimal. Teddy, thank you.
So for negative externalities, that would cause either producers or consumers to make or consume too much and the government has to tax. And for positive externalities, it would cause producers and consumers to produce and consume too little, and the government has to subsidize.
Correct. So here is a positive for what you said, we're producing too little, right? Here's the market, here's the optimal, we want to subsidize. So in positive, we're either shifting demand right or supply right through a subsidy. If I just take us back one or two to the negative, here I'm producing too much. Here's the market, here's the optimal, so government's gonna have to tax me. How do I find how much? I take the market line straight up, that's my external cost. Okay, that's how much the tax should be. For the subsidy, I take the market line straight up, and that's how much my external benefit should be. That same market line also gets me my deadweight loss. How do I check that I have the right triangle? I notice the point is pointing at the optimal. When I'm shifting, I always go from, and this should be actually private benefit. Here, I'm always going from private to social benefit. Okay, when I'm staying by myself, this could be marginal social cost / private cost. Marginal social benefit is the private benefit plus the external benefit. And we did 4 graphs in one day. So is there any questions anyone has? All right, I have a question then. Take out a board and put an answer. A per unit tax on pollution produced by a firm will affect the firm's output and pollution levels in which of the following? Oh, Conrad, a little cocky there, huh?
A little.
What did you have, like insight on that question, man?
I already have looked at it.
Did I put it in your notes?
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay. I was wondering, like, before it was even up, you had,
super sweet.
it's good they did it one answer.
For the positive externality, like the technology one where it's on the producer, is there deadweight loss or?
There's deadweight loss until the subsidy occurs.
Okay,
Because you're under producing, right?
right.
Okay, let's see what we got. I have some dogwoods, all dogwoods. All right, it's a good sign. No. All right. Did I put what abatement means in your notes?
You would.
Did I put that question there?
30.
It doesn't matter.
Distance.
Yeah.
Did I put what abatement means first?
And then do.
You assume I'm gonna be asking questions and the guys on could even be born, but. All right, what do we got? I got A, D, B. Are we, B, we're all over here. That's. All right. Look, in anything, You never want with
Oh
a
my God,
benefit,
Gary.
like that. You never want with benefit is less than cost, because then you're like, you're kind of losing money, right? You want where the marginal benefit is greater than the marginal cost. All right, I'll give you a minute. Could you fill out the little slip, put them in the box? I'll be here after school. Quick review on the externalities, get the graphs going well. We'll do more of this tomorrow, so don't get nervous that we're moving on. Yeah.